Brian, thank you so much for doing this. Before we start anything, can you share what it is that you actually do? What's your service that you sell through LinkedIn?
Yeah, thanks, Richard. I work as an executive coach and a leadership development consultant. So that means that I help corporations with surveys, with executive retreats, with corporate training, with full curriculum to help lift up and elevate their team from individual contributors to managers, and from managers to leaders, and from leaders to leaders of leaders. So that's the full suite of things that I offer.
Yeah, and it's really representative of the kind of person I often work with, someone who's already got time on the pitch, who's got experience, who's got a business and an idea, and is ready for people if they if they need your service. We connected for some time, but when we first started working together, what was it that you were missing that you needed help with, would you say?
When we first started talking, I was very scared to have sales calls. In fact, I was underpricing my services. I was feeling a lack of confidence when it came to actually getting on the phone with people. Sometimes I'd have to even go and pitch my services in front of people. This is obviously pre-COVID. The business was essentially crutched and crippled without this ability to generate sales. So when I first started working with you, there were some very key fundamental things that I was missing that you gave me.
Actually, no, throughout, in fact, what would you say we've focused on? Because there's a whole load of stuff, isn't there, in attracting people, marketing to them, selling to them, closing to them, that whole process. And you, like me and like many people, grab like really good ideas and teachings from many different people, other coaches and so on as well. But what would you say we mostly focused on that moved the needle the most?
We did a lot of work in language. I think the thing that stuck out to me from the very, very beginning, from our first one-on-one session together, was framing myself as the authority in my space. And so even if I was having conversations with current clients who are already working with me, how do I frame myself as the authority in my space? So that even like from conversations that I was having them, from coaching conversations, I did learn a lot from you about how to improve my own coaching program, even though that wasn't actually a direct thing that you were sharing with me. That was a consequence of the work that we were doing together. The other cool thing that I saw from our work together was how specific it was in the language. So it wasn't like, oh, you should say this, this, and this. It was, well, how do you say that? When do you use an emoji? When do you not use an emoji? When is casual language preferred over formal language? When I started recording some of the sales calls, that's when I started to see a huge jump in my sales, because I could actually review and look back on what I was doing, because I thought I was doing all of these things already, but I wasn't. Over the course of time, those calls went from where out of 10 calls, I might get 2 or 3 clients, to now 9 or 10 clients out of 10 clients.
And that's what's exciting, is that we actually have a lot more control than we realize, just if we remember to deploy the right kind of wording at the right time. But the crucial part, it feels, is to learn why. When you learn why behavior is such and reactions will be such, and with empathy, someone's emotionally in a particular space and why, therefore we can affect it. And I think it's an exciting world, and it seems to be one that, like, I think we both kind of geek over it quite a lot. It's kind of interesting to see why that's the case. Would you say there were real results from working with it? Because there's learning. Let's be really clear here. There's learning, and learning is awesome, and it's nice to know stuff, but I'm getting a feeling, but just to kind of hear from you, like, were there real results, like tangible ones, that made this worthwhile?
So I was doing 4 figures of revenue per month when we started, to over 5 figures of revenue per week as a result of working with you. And that's a lot. This isn't just like 2 or 3 fold. This is like 6, 7, 8 fold in revenue on a monthly basis. So I thank you for getting me in order.
It's so good when they're super qualified like that, and going into the call, like, on paper, this is the deal. Then I have to go through these processes and I get there. One thing I'm really keen to understand before we kind of finish up here is, in front of existing clients, you kind of touched on this momentarily, but in front of existing clients, and look, some of your clients they're paying you strong amount of money. They're not running joke businesses as well. They know, like, these are pretty good sized businesses as well. What's the confidence like now? Because there's this greater grasp of language, communication, and performance and delivery and so on. Like, what's the confidence like now? Is that noticeably different as well, as just knowing you've got a process that can be effective in closing?
Whether it's a senior executive at Apple or the CEO founder of a small software company, the thing that I have learned from you is that when I'm having a conversation with them about leadership, I'm the authority there. I don't use the I don't know what to do, or maybe try this. I don't use that type of language when we're talking about leadership. When they're talking about their stuff, they're the authority. When I'm talking about my stuff, I'm the authority. And that has turned into higher recurring revenue from current clients. It also just feels better and it feels right. And it feels like, okay, this is what I prescribe. I did take the time to learn my craft and I did get credentials and stuff. So why would I come in on shaky ground? Exactly. Hey, here's what I've seen. Here's what I suggest that you do as a result of that. Not maybe try something along this line. And I think I was in this zone before where I was confident in my work, but my language did not represent that. And now that has changed for me. So
and I think, isn't it more fulfilling as well? Because emotionally, that buyer actually wants you to act that way, because that's the very thing they're for, which is that you've got this. And so you use exactly the right word, of course, which is being more prescriptive about the solution and having some stridency about how you tell them they should be doing it, because they want that conviction. They want to know that you've got them and you know what's best for them, and it feels good because it actually gets you more respect. Whereas we feel that maybe we should be a little bit more careful around people and suggest things because they're the client. Actually, the dynamic is kind of counterintuitive, but it makes much more sense. It feels right and it gets a better result. Just one last question. What might you say to them if they're like, I don't know, maybe I'll work with Richard, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of on the fence. Is there anything in particular that you might say to kind of give them a nudge in whatever direction is best for them?
Number one, this isn't a big piece of your sort of what you're selling, but everybody should know that there's a community of people that help and support each other. When we get on the group calls with your community of clients, there is so much value to actually hearing what people are doing, what's working, what's not working. I often get my own questions answered before I even ask them because we're all kind of going through this journey together. So I think the community piece is something that, man, that's just unforgettable. I've created friends. I've created people who have come on my own video series and I've interviewed that I met because of you. I think outside of that, though, I would say looking back on any of the large jumps in growth for me in my business, out of the 3 big jumps, you're one of those jumps for me. So when I was thinking back on and reflecting on, well, what happened at this point? Because I was looking at my invoicing, you know, it's tax time right now in the US. And I'm looking at like, okay, what happened here? And I see this massive June jump. And that's when I started working with you. So it's pretty clear. I mean, it's not like maybe did this help me or did this not help me? No, like after our calls, my call conversion just started going skyrocket. Yeah. I think that one thing that people need to know though, too, is that they should take the time. Don't jump into any coaching program, any consulting arrangement, any engagement with someone that has so much to teach you if you're not going to take the time to take action on it. Anytime that I actually blocked time on my calendar that said Richard Prep, I knew that was going to be a high impact hour for me to jump my business because I was taking what you've taught me in our sessions and then applying it. But yeah, really, if people listen to you, it will work for them.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think there's no coincidence that those that do this system and the use the process correctly have had spectacular results, and it's nice because the focus is on conversion as well. It's something that's tangible. The last thing is that I need is someone saying he's a good guy, you know, and it's nice having more profile views or something. It's really important, specifically because I focus on conversion, that you've had that tangible side to your work as well. Thank you so much, Brian. I really appreciate that. That really is awesome.